This is Math Secondary 3, and we're starting in our first section, first unit, on statistics. Today we'll be discussing measures of central tendency. There are three measures of central tendency. They are the mean, the median, and the mode. The mean of a set of data is the average. So to find the mean, we add all of the numbers together and divide by how many there are. All of these measures of central tendencies tell us about a set of data. It's like being able to represent a whole set of numbers with a single number. Sometimes the mean is the best representation. Sometimes it's the median. Sometimes it's the mode. We'll be discussing how to be able to tell which one represents the data the best. They all have different purposes. The median is the very middle number. If you have an odd number of data in your set, the middle number is easy to find because you just count the same number of numbers from each side. Or you take the number divided by 2 and then round up, and that is the number in your set of numbers. Of course, they must be written in order from smallest to largest for that to work. If you have an even number of numbers, then the median, or the middle number, is the average of the two middle numbers. If we have two middle numbers that are the same, then the median is the same as those numbers. But if they're slightly different, say for example one is 8 and one is 9, then the median or average of those two middle numbers would be 8.5. The mode is the number of the set of numbers that happens the most often. There can be no mode, or there can be multiple modes. If all of the numbers happen only once, or if all of the numbers happen the same number of times, then there is no mode. If we have two numbers that happen the same number of times and the most number of times, then it might have two modes, or it's possible to have 3 modes or 4 modes. The value or the helpfulness of the mode, I think, becomes less valuable as we have more and more of them. There may be no mode or multiple modes. Okay, after we've found the median of some data, we can break down that median further into smaller pieces of data called quartiles. That's where we break the data into 4 equal pieces. So quartiles are the values that separate the data into 4 equal pieces. Finding quartile 1 and quartile 3 is just like finding the median, but only for half of the data, for the bottom half or for the top half, for the data that's on each side of the median that we've already found. Once we've found the quartiles, we can create what's called a box and whisker plot. A box and whisker plot is drawn with a box. This edge of the box is defined by quartile 1. We put a line through our box at the median. We put the edge of our box at quartile 3. Now the reason that this one is called quartile 3 is that the median is technically quartile 2. The whiskers of the box take us from the minimums and maximums, or from the beginning to the end of our range of data. So this end of our whisker here is at the maximum, and the beginning of the whisker starts at the minimum. If I subtract, starting with the maximum and subtract the minimum, I have the range of the data. If I start at quartile 3 and subtract quartile 1, then I have the interquartile range of the data.